Hi, welcome to Hope in the Light of Suicide. I'm Tammy White. I'm the founder and CEO of the Bobby White Foundation, and I'm glad that you're joining us. I want to thank um, John and Austin from Areas 52 Media Group for giving us this opportunity. And actually, when I was last week's show, I was talking about Logan, and I just remembered what it was that I was trying to remember. You know, we talk about the hard stuff here. We talk about suicide, but Logan said something and it clicked in me, and this is why I want to say this now. I am so lucky that even though I will probably for the rest of my life be going through all the bad shit with losing Bobby to suicide, but with all that, I am so grateful and lucky that I have people like John, um, Austin, uh, DeLynn, Gaston from the mortgage firm, who is one of our other sponsors here. Great with mortgages. I mean, you don't want to talk to anybody else. She is, I mean, seriously, absolutely the best, and she's just one of the best persons that I've known. Especially John and DeLynn have been going through this journey with me from the very beginning, and they continue. And John gives us this opportunity every week to be able to come in and talk to you guys. And hopefully one day it'll just make it easier for everybody to talk about and stop the stigma and maybe start reducing our suicide rates. I had breakfast Friday morning with, so I don't mess up here. He's actually a chaplain for Pasco County Fire Rescue, and he was referred to me by a friend, and so we met for breakfast. And ironically, he suggested the Hilltop Cafe, which is just around the corner from my home and our office, and it was a restaurant, breakfast place that Bobby and I used to go to all the time. And I'd only went a half a dozen times, not even that, maybe the first 6 months, year, when Bobby was gone. And it was always really difficult. The last time I went, I actually ended up having to leave. I was having a panic attack, and I hadn't been back since. And but when the chaplain offered, to meet with me, and that's the place he suggested, and I told him this when I met with him, that I hadn't been there in a while, and why. And he was like, well, I would have been open to going to other places, but I told him, I said, I said, I've done the hard things for 8 years, over 8 years. This is just one of the other hard things that I need to do. Um, and I think I was just so focused on the mission of talking to him, and letting him know about our foundation and our purple folders, and um, how things began, and our partnership with Central Florida Children's and Family Systems of Care to develop the folders, and how the foundation took over the folders and the funding of the folders. And so anyway, he wanted some of the folders, so I took him 10 folders, and but we had a good conversation for about an hour. And so we'll see what comes out of it. He's hoping that he's head of, and I wish I could remember the number, but I can't. He's head of, there's many other chaplains underneath him in our community that he's head of, I guess. But then there's somebody over him too, so he's got to talk to them about the folders. And so hopefully, since we haven't been able to get him into the hands of the Pasco County Sheriff's Department, hopefully maybe the chaplains will be able to have him, and he's going to talk to fire rescue also, and see where we go. I mean, it's good. Um, it's baby steps, each little thing that we do. Of course, I always think we should be way further ahead than we are, but it's good. It was good meeting with him. Um, Good information, but one thing that struck me too was he said that and I've mentioned I at one of our zero suicide partners meetings. Actually, no, it's the Pasco, yeah, the Pasco one, and the acute care meeting. Pasco County sheriffs do give us a report on the suicides for each month. But Chaplain Howie told me that our suicide counts are being way under reported, which is scary because they're high anyways. So he told me that there is actually, on the average, 2 to 3 suicides a week in Pasco County. So the reporting that I'm getting, and of course it's just with the sheriff's department because all the police department agencies report separately. They're not all in the same. So maybe that's where this comes from too, easily we average one a week. We had several months in April, I think April, May, and June were really high months where it was closer. It was 2 to 3 a week. But yeah, that's what he told me. So I'm hoping that we're making another step, a little bit more steps forward. So it was good. It was nice when he would sit down and talk and listen, and was interested, and he thinks it's a good idea. I think so. Anyway, so that was good. So, and also we, of course, we've been talking about Art for Hope. It seems like forever, and it's over, even though I still have my sign up here. Just because we had our wrap up meeting last night, and it was really good. And when I was getting things prepared for the meeting, I realized that we really did, we did better than what I anticipated, I guess. Numbers wise, we were pretty much the same as last year, but attendance wise, we were way up. And even though it rained again, so that was one of our main goals from last year, was to increase our attendance. Now, in our community, there is always something going on. It seems like, and I hope someday that when people schedule things, they kind of pay attention to what else is going on in the community. But there were 2 other events happening the night of Art for Hope. But even still with that, our attendance was, I don't know, I would say it was probably maybe 3 times, at least twice as much as last year. But and it's hard for me to gauge, but I kind of have an easy way to gauge, because we have when we put on a program. It's not just art sales, and art sales and eating and raffles, though we do have all those, and that's all good, and people get to mingle and talk. But we do put on a little program to educate people and give them information. And this year, I think we did a phenomenal job with that. Actually, Kim did more of the phenomenal job of that. Kim Romanaski, who was our MC. And so last year, there's a place that I stand off to the side of the stage where I can see the stage, and I'm close enough because I have to go up there at one point and talk. And I can also see the crowd. I can see the people. And so we have these rows of chairs so that if people want to sit, they can sit. And so last year, the chairs were not even half full. This year, every single seat was taken, and people were standing. So that's how I gauge it. Um, and that's just not even, because some people had come in and had to leave earlier, and some people came in a little bit later because they were coming from one of the other events. So anyway, so we had really good attendance. So in our discussion last night, with our wrap up meeting, we have some really super good ideas for next year, and getting more community involvement, which was it was a good start and a good showing for this past year. So we want to continue that, and I think Kim and I kind of agree that a lot of that maybe had to do with me going out, expanding past Pasco County, and going out into more of the Tampa Bay area. Like I've said before, we're partners with Zero Suicide Partners of Pinellas County, Zero Suicide Partners of Hillsborough County, our Pasco Acute Care, and our Safe Coalition, along with our gun safety little group, and also in which is part of Tampa Bay, but just a teeny bit north, Hernando County. Expanding out that way. So going out and speaking to people, being members of organizations, these meetings and coalitions and partnerships that we have meetings once a month. I probably have half a dozen meetings a month, if not more. So these people are getting to know us. I'm consistent with it. And so we think part of that had to do with just getting out there more. So this year, and anybody who knows me knows this is out of my comfort zone, but doing this is out of my comfort zone too. But sometimes it's just a little bit easier to talk to a camera knowing Austin or John is on the other side than standing up in front of a whole group of people and talking. But that's what part of the goal is this year, is to get me out there speaking to community groups, organizations, at least once every month. So we got to start scheduling that. And we're going to start promoting promoting Art for Hope sooner, which is going to be starting in October, like in the next couple days. Right now we're waiting on, I've already contacted Alex, the guy who does our graphic designs and our flyers. So I emailed him last night, and so we can get the new flyers going. So the date for Art for Hope 2025, the 8th annual, is going to be September 11th. And I know that might seem a teeny bit controversial, but it's really going to be a good event, because I've talked to a lot of people about my concern, and it's mostly me. A little bit, Kim had a little bit of concerns, but we talked through it, and we feel that it's a day and a way we can also bring other parts of mental health and wellness, PTSD and trauma. We've got, first responders that are at a high risk for suicide. In this next year, we're going to be doing a lot of research so that we can bring a lot of information to the people that attend, and also if you can't attend, if you're not local, we can bring this information to you guys too. So that's part of what we're going to be doing for next year. We're going to do a little bit different a twist for the art that's going to be available. And we got this really cool idea for our lottery board. Is not going to be just a lottery board. It is going to be amazing. The girls came up with really cool suggestions for it. So, and they're already starting looking for stuff to put all that together. So it's actually really exciting. We got a year to plan, and this year we're going to take the whole year to plan. Last year we really didn't, and that's on me. But it still was good. It was a great event. Our violinist LeMay, he was awesome. It was a great surprise for everybody. I'm going to speak to him and see if maybe we can have him come back next year. Maybe I can get him to schedule us early so that he could play the whole fundraiser and schedule a different day for the Center Club. I know, but hey, wishful thinking, but it worked this time for the surprise, and everybody loved it. So that's part of it. We'll work on our keynote speaker tying into the whole thing. Will accommodate, 9/11 will be part of the event. So we're excited about it. I know it's going to be a good thing, at least from everybody I spoke to and gave me feedback and kind of helped me walk through my concerns. So it'll be good. But, I have just some amazing volunteers. Kim and Rich Rymanowski. Kim is our MC. Mitch, he helps us move stuff back and forth, all the artwork and setup, and helps making sure all the payments are going through when people are purchasing the art for the fundraiser. Margie, she does awesome with the baskets. When we were getting set up, and we've done this probably for several years, if we're there first, we get the baskets, we just put them all on the table, and that's Margie's job. When she gets here, she organizes all the baskets, gets everything all ready for the excuse me, for the raffle. And this year she did double duty because she did the raffles for the baskets and for the lottery board, and everything just went so smoothly. The proceeds from the gift baskets this year was great. We had great gift baskets, and we're gonna up the ante on those next year too. Who else? Diane, she was a great greeter, and everybody that donated the baskets, our sponsors, and because of that. Even though everything is like kind of over with that, but there's still some residual effects coming in from that. Rotary Club of Trinity wanted to be a sponsor, but I guess they weren't quite paying attention, and they missed it. But they still sent us the donation for $250 for the sponsorship, so it'd still be like a sponsorship donation, and we truly appreciate that. And then we also received a donation from, I cannot pronounce one of these lawyers' names, Lucas Mackeson and Dyer, from their community foundation, another $250. And all that stuff makes so much of a difference in our community, things that we could do. So, like our, I'm losing my mind here, our support groups that we have. We've got 2 support groups, and so it helps with that, so we can do little activities with our support groups. Our second Wednesday one in Spring Hill, and the third Wednesday one in Newport Richey at the Oasis Coffee Spot. We're still working on the East Pasco one, so don't give up yet. We'll have one in East Pasco here pretty soon. So we've got those. That helps with that, and then it'll already be over by the time this airs. But one of the things that it helps, we're participating in the Stomp Out Suicide with Pasco Parks and Rec. So they're putting together goodie bags for all the runners and walkers. So over the weekend, while watching TV, I put together these little bags. And inside the little bags, and I came up with this really good idea, because that flyer that Austin just put up, I made a little business card that has the groups, and then on the back, which you can't really see, but it has the groups, the days and where they are, and then our contact information. I thought I did a really cool job with that. And then also the foundation business card, which has the show on the side, and this little lapel pin, which I am wearing. And we gave one of those to all of our volunteers. So I made up actually 169 of these little bags to go in their little goodie bag. 150 for the runners, and then 19 for the Parks and Recs people. So I think I'm going to do something like that with the Out of the Darkness walk that's coming up in November. I'll mix it up a little bit. I found some really cute bookmarks, but there's the Out of the Darkness walk for Pasco County, November 2nd, that QR code. And then I was wrong when I said the last few times that the Pinellas walk is going to be in October. It's not. It's going to also be in November. I found out when I was doing my research for the show. It's actually going to be the following Saturday, which I think is November 9th. And I think it's at the Vinoy Park. So that has changed. We do have a link to the website page, which shows all 3 walks in the Tampa Bay area. Tampa's is still in December, the first part of December. I think that one's December 7th or around that time. So we'll have all that, the links and information up for that. So we're excited about that. And the Pasco walk, I'm the MC. So we'll be having our volunteers manning the table, handing out our little goodies and information, and just another way that we can give back to the community, give them information, help them out, help support AFSP in their efforts. And it's usually a really good morning. Last year was beautiful, so keep our fingers crossed this year will be beautiful, because we're going to be going through a hurricane here again. But and then October, though, Parks and Rec still has all those other things that are happening. The cat yoga, the kayaking, Pilates in the park, Strike the Stigma bowling tournament, movie in the park. They're doing the Bark and Breathe puppy yoga. So this is all the second week of October. And for their mental health awareness week, it's just the extension of the Stomp Out Suicide. So we'll be at a few of these events on the west side of Pasco also to help out. So yeah, so I drove over to Land O'Lakes yesterday to drop off all those for Parks and Rec. So excited about that. There's just still a lot going on, even though, and takes a little bit longer to recover from Art for Hope. um, but it just seems like instead of, you think that we have, okay, we're going to have a little bit of downtime, we'll do our wrap up and we'll have a little bit of downtime, and then it's no, we're just going from Art for Hope right into the next thing. Because, even though this is National Suicide Prevention Month, it's National Suicide Prevention every single day for us. So it's not just a month thing. I know in October, Zero Suicide Partners of Pinellas has a whole lot of things going on. And as soon as I get that schedule, I'll share it with you guys too. We just had the meeting, and so I didn't get the schedule yet. So we're still on our campaign for Be the One. So this week's Be the One is be the one to help them connect. Help your friend connect to a support system, whether it's 988, Lifeline, family, friends, clergy, coaches, coworkers, or therapists. They have a network, so they have a network to reach out to for help. It's out there. There's people out there that are caring and that want to help and want to support you. So my quote for this evening is, someday when you look back, the decision to simply keep moving forward will have been the most important decision of your life. And that's really been me for the last 8+ years. So remember to put those phone numbers in your phone, 988. You can also text to talk 741-741. You just never know, and you just might be the one. So, as I always say, just remember, there is always hope. Yes, there is. Thanks.